Remember freshman year of high school? Did you ever check the mirror to see if your hair was just right? Not willing to admit it yet? Even virtually? Okay. One day I looked in the mirror. Like always, the hair was just right, but this eye was all wrong. Like a big purple plum. My mom drove me straight to the hospital. Steroids fixed that eye swelling, but my blood sugar soared to over 700. The doctor sat me down and told me the news. Son, you're a diabetic. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever felt sad, afraid, and angry all at the same time? I felt alone. At 14 years old, I had no model to follow. But then one day around this time, my dad saw an ad for a cheap karate class. In the newspaper, he threw away. We couldn't afford karate. We couldn't even afford a second copy of that newspaper. But then my brother found $5 for me in my dad's wallet. I ran to the store, opened the paper, and we could afford this karate. Now imagine walking into a boxing gym straight out of Rocky. In the ring is your new karate teacher. He looks like the Terminator. And the Terminator and I sparred every week. I cried a lot in that gym bathroom. One day I put my hands on the sink and stared into the mirror. I thought, not this time. You will not quit. You will not fail. I went out to the ring and I landed a right and a left and another right. And then, have you ever felt like a scrambled egg? I was beaten down again. I felt alone again. But then the same hand that knocked me down lifted me up. The Terminator taught me to attack my problems. I didn't feel so alone. I had a model. When I looked in the mirror, I saw the Terminator training. I applied his lessons not just to karate, but to diabetes. I rose above my diagnosis. I became healthier than most non-diabetics. And I turned into a much better karate student. I got so much better, the Terminator asked me to teach karate. But here's the thing about me. I never liked talking to people. Teaching karate helped this introvert find his voice. That helped me years later, after college, when I visited a cult-like speaking group. Oh, the good kind of cult, like Tesla or CrossFit. Now, your journey to this event today started somewhere. Remember that first meeting? I bet it was just like mine. You're nervous. You sit way in the back. Then you hear your name called. You walk up to the front of a room full of strangers. And your first question at your first meeting is, tell me a ghost story. Tell me a ghost story. I came here to learn public speaking, not ghost stories. Have you ever felt all the eyes in the room staring at you, and you have no idea what to say? And so maybe you yell inside like this. Once again, I felt alone. I told my best bad story and sat down. Then I met the club's old hand, a writer we call Mr. Salty. Mr. Salty gives feedback on everything. Writing, speaking, acting, your shirt, your tie, your hair. He's sharp, he's coarse, he spikes my blood pressure. But he's not always salty. One day I read a speech with my head down. Afterward, Mr. Salty asked me to speak in some competition. I said, wait. Did you just see my speech? He didn't see my speech. He saw what my speech could be. I felt connected. I had a new model. Today I see Mr. Salty in the mirror with an introvert's secret weapons. A pen and a keyboard. Now I use writing to rise above my fear. I have many models like the Terminator and Mr. Salty. Many people don't have one. We live so disconnected nowadays. We see people walking down the street, heads buried in their phone. We feel so alone. Now, what makes us feel connected? How about your model? Who saw what you could be before you could see it? That memory feels pretty good, doesn't it? Imagine all the people who don't have that right now. Imagine if we didn't. What if the Terminator never lifted me up? What if Mr. Salty never saw the good in my bad speech? What if your model never, well, you know what they did for you. Our models reveal our capabilities. Without them, we might never discover our best features. Now, what can you model? Because right now, someone is sad, afraid, or angry, and they need you. My friends, find that person. See their potential. And tell them what you see. And watch them rise above. Back to you.
Thank you, Matt.